eModels.co.uk. Make something awesome.
Hi, welcome back to eModels build of the Ford GT Mk.II from 1966. This part, we're doing some more work on the engine. So I've got fitting the first part of the exhaust manifolds on, some rubbery leads for the distributor cap, and some more of these larger leads and pipes basically painting up. And we fit them to the engine, and then fit the engine into the car itself. So we'll get things tidied up, come back when we're ready to show you something. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, it's got the pieces painted up, so I've got the wires and things painted up there in clear red and metallic blue, and the main part is just silver. So all these painted up, and got a black tube there like to go on as well. And then we've got the exhausts. What we've done so far, fitted the leads on. They were quite fiddly, so I've got my camera in a slightly different position to keep getting it off the camera. So I've got them fitted on to the top of the spark plugs. This one's fits quite snugly, stretches across, and this one's a bit looser, so I've done a little bit of CA glue just to hold these two parts in. So what we need to do now is cut a piece of this to go from the top to the top of here. Okay, so let's cut it on this part. So just measure it roughly how long to cut it. So very scientifically, we'll go there. And we'll see if we can get that on top of there. There you go, so that's from there to there. So we're going along. So what we need to do now is the exhausts, and a bit of a spaghetti junction, but these are all for this side. You can sort of get an idea because they all end up in a cluster around about here, so you can sort of get an idea where each one goes. So according to the instructions, you start with the middle two on either side, and then fit the others around it. So we should give it a go. There we go, and let's get a bit of CA glue on that and stick it back in. you go, so they're all up there. So I'll pause there for a sec and then we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, so this long piece, which this basically plugs into the bottom of here, and then these plug into things over the other side of the engine later on in the construction. So it looks like now we can fit it into the car. So put this slot goes on that peg there, and these two pipes go in these two holes. There you go, so that's the engine in. So these plug into various things over this side at a later date. Okay, so the first part of the transmission is the main block. So we start off with one part of the drive shaft in there. This has a grommet in the top of it, so something's going to get stuck in there eventually. So it lines up with the hole at the top. It goes around. And don't forget to pop the other one in that side. Okay, there's a little bit of touching up I need to do with the gunmetal. And then, so again, little hole, big hole, big slot, little slot. There we go, part that goes on the front. And then on the end of the drive shafts we have these parts. We go through the rubber bit. Jump it on the floor, won't be a sec. Okay, so got those fitted. So just push the rubber parts all the way up. And they just slot in each end. Then we have another long bit of tubing. So this black part goes in the top here. Yeah, because there's a slot. So what I'll do first, we'll clean the paint off it, so it should fit hopefully. Okay, he's got the transmission sorted out, and he's had to CA glue all these connections in, otherwise he just sprung back out and repainted a couple of bits as the silver paint peeled off on there as well, and there's a couple of little bits I've touched up. So that's ready to go into the main body of the car. What we have to do is unscrew two nuts from the bottom and then swing these parts up, and then we'll fit it in, and then attach wheels and the brakes and things. Then we've got a frame to go on the top of that as well. So what I'll do is let's get these 2 screws out. Get a small screw. Okay, so I'm guessing that should, yep, it folds up. Didn't notice inside the engine. So we've got the grommet that we put in there earlier. We'll then fit over this spike here and fit into the back of the engine, and hopefully that will hold everything down. This little one here basically goes underneath the exhaust manifolds. Sorry, bear with. I'm not going to be able to film this and get it on at the same time, so we'll just pause there and I'll be back in a sec. Right, so that's got it in, and it does shore everything up better. That was very tricky because you can't really see where you're going, and it has 2 lugs that sort of point out you have to force into the hole, which is tricky to do without pulling things off. So we've got one loose there, so I'll sort that out. So I'm sorry you couldn't feel it, but it really was very, very fiddly. You can sort of get it under your arm and give it a good push, and hope you didn't break anything. And anyway, that's it. So all we need to do now is get those in there, which looks, I'd have to pull those off. Anyway, we'll work it out. Okay, so the trick to getting that in there is, as you can see, pull it off from there, then you can insert that in, swing it around. Okay, so we get that one to the bottom, put back in. Okay, and then we put this, I don't know if you can see it, this rubber tube on the end of that. Right, the other one has practice, but perfectly first time, start filming, falls off. Anyway, I'll pause it there, and then I'll get that put back on, and we'll see where we're up to. Okay, so that's got the tube back on there. So the last bit for this part is to put this cage over the top. So there's 2 screw points which go into these parts of the back. So that slots in there, and there's 2 holes at the top. And that is held down by a little D screw. there we go. Let's put back everything off. That is the engine transmission in. Sorry for the long delay between getting parts out, but certain circumstances meant I couldn't do a lot of filming. So anyway, that's another part done of the Ford GT for eModels. That's eModels.co.uk for oil modelling needs, and I'll get the next one up as soon as I can. That was going to be not going to be as big a gap. Okay, thanks very much. See you in the next one.
eModels.co.uk. Make something awesome.